Yeah.
Okay, now we are live.
How to everyone? Yeah, let's
Hello.
start. We are not sure that we have someone, but Ludmila, please share links.
Yeah, give me just a second to do
Yeah,
it.
sure. We
Okay, we have just a couple of minutes to let the participants of our marathon to join.
yeah. Yeah, before we start, as usual, while we're waiting for someone, do you have your drink of choice? Do you have evening or maybe night now in your location? But anyway, you can choose your drink of choice, water, tea, coffee, what you like.
Yeah, we have a lot of like interesting learning materials, but today's topic seems to be even more interesting because we are going to talk how implement this knowledge. Yeah, how to show them to be chosen.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's start. And today we have a live event regarding maybe one of the scared topic in this part of becoming a tester. It's not about learning, it's about this way itself. So how to apply on the position and so on. And the first person you will meet on this way, we think it's a recruiter. And we have today a real recruiter from a real big IT company. It's Maria. Maria has more than 4 years experience in working as a recruiter and finding people on positions and as well on a different educational programs. So Maria has big experience in this sphere as well. It's all, and this she will be very helpful for us, for you, because you are like just want to become a tester. So Maria has a lot of tips and tricks for you and recommendations. Okay, maybe so. Let's start, Maria.
Okay, thank you very much, Ludmila, for such uh, uh, pleasant description of mine. So, yes, guys, hello, everybody. I'm really happy to be here with you, and I hope I will give a little bit more useful information for you about how to. Create your CV, how to prepare for the interview, and so on. So and my so I prepared a little presentation for you because it will be easier to also to read some information from slides. So that's why let me to share my screen and let me know if you see the first slide. Is everything okay?
Yeah, we can see it.
Excellent. So and I want to start from discussing CV tips. And my first question will be um, uh, little spoiler. My first question will be: do you know the difference between CV and resume? You may also write down the answers in the chat, and maybe Ludmila help me to read some answers. So
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I suppose when sending CV, everyone is thinking that he or she is sending resume. So, guys, do you know the difference?
For
or
me, it's
maybe
like synonyms, that's all.
yeah, sometimes people think that CV and resume is the same, but maybe our audience also knows that. What is the difference?
Actually, they keep
Everybody,
silence.
they
So I
keep
suppose they will think
I
no.
see.
The first
Also, I
answer is
see that
no.
everybody also thinks that is the same. Okay, it's not bad, but today I will give you more information about it. So let's have a look. So, yes, there are two different things, and let's have a look at this difference. First of all, a resume is a 1-2 page document presenting key facts about your professional experience, education, background, and skills. And what about CV? So yes, it's a longer document with the details of whole course of your career. So this document contain a lot of information about your experience, career, some maybe your interesting activities, and so on. Usually, resume is used for job search, and CV we use for some academic purpose. So if you want to apply to a position, it's better to use resume because it's a shorter. But remember that it must contain only very relevant information about you according to this position. And CV, for example, you want to enter very cool university, or you want to participate in enrollment to any educational program. In this case, it's better to use CV with all useful information about you. So I guess you understand what you need, and also it's very useful to write a CV to complete all information about you, and then using this CV, create a lot of resumes for different positions. It's easier because sometimes when you will be 30, 40, 50 years old, your resume, your experience will be huge, and it will be very difficult to remember everything. So that's why right now start to create your CV with all information. It's better to find it, the all information here in this document, than just try to remember everything. Okay, let's move on, and let's understand how to create, and what points we need to cover in CV and in resume. So as you can see on my slide, CV contains a lot of points like application information, education, experience, some awards, honors, some information about trainings, a skill, language, and also information about yourself. And what about resume? As you can see, just several points only about your information, contacts, experience, education. Also, you can use skills, language, and also you also need you may to add additional information, but remember that it must be very short, just 1-2 sentences. Okay. In one moment, you understand that you need to create such document, CV or resume, and so let's try to clarify what we need to do. So don't be afraid that there are a lot of words in my slides. The idea is very short. So first of all, you need to choose a template. So there are a lot of different templates in the internet. Also, there are lots of CV building tools. For example, Canva. So Canva is, I think that it's very popular, not even to create when you want to create a CV. But what you need to remember when you start to create a CV or resume, so you need to remember that it should be easy read and written in a simple language. Also, don't forget to use basic fonts, bulleted lists, and headlines. Then, contact information. So, of course, you need to add your full name, phone number, email, and location. But I want to pay your attention for another point. Always check this information because, for example, in my experience, very often I am faced with the fact that the information from this point have a mistake. Has mistake. And as a result, I can't to contact a person that because of he just make a mistake in his contacts. Okay, what else? Of course, your job experience. Nothing special, just write down your titles, responsibilities, what else, accomplishments. And of course, don't forget to include your current job, because sometimes people really forget to do it. And one more point, it will be a big plus if you also include information about your achievements and results of your previous jobs. Okay. What else? Okay, let me switch to next slide. Okay. Then we move to education. Nothing special also, you just need to enter your university faculty, the year of graduation, and also if you have some completed courses, you also may add them here. And after all these points, you move to your skills. Yes, so in this point, in this section, you need to include your hard and soft skills. And of course, if you are writing a resume for a special position, the list of the skills should be related to the job you are searching for. You know, it will be not very interesting if I say in my resume that I have a skill of knitting, only because I want to be a tester. Okay, and of course, if you have some certificates which shares information about your skills, also add them, links to them to your CV or your resume. And the last point is additional information. So this section usually include information about about your volunteer experience, hobbies. But remember that this section must be not very big. Just 1-2 sentences about it. So please remember these 7 points. They will help you to create a good CV or a good resume. And also, I know that you shared some CVs with us. Let's look through, and maybe I will be able to share some advices.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Thank you so much for this general tips. Yeah, let's move on to the resume you sent us as a task. And I also would like to mention here that the task was not just to send a CV, but also a cover letter as well. So, Maria, what do you think about cover letter? Should we have it? Is it mandatory part, or should we use it every time?
I think it's like a very useful option. And if you need to read the description of a position, if the hiring manager asks you to add it, of course, it's you need to you must to add it. But if you just want to share your CV or your resume, just to let us know about you, it also will be very good to share this cover letter, because it's one more point which help you to catch my attention. Because I will look through a lot of CVs, maybe 100 a day, and when I notice that, okay, this CV also have something else, okay, let me return to it, and so you catched my attention. So if possible, please add it, because it's always like a plus for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Unfortunately, our first participant didn't write the correct cover letter. Yeah, it was like letter to us, email to us. So thank you for the task, but not a cover letter. So we start with reviewing the first resume, and also please pay attention that all personal information were like moved under this blue things. So it was done especially not to share your personal information. Okay, and maybe Maria, do you have any comments here?
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like no, quite good. Yeah, we have one page. Also, information is quite structured. Yeah.
Yes, but as I said earlier, yeah, in
Yeah.
one of our points, it will be very useful to use here bulleted lists. For
Mm-hmm.
example, 1, 2, 3, or like just little points of because now it's very difficult to look because it's very
Plain
little for me.
text.
Yes, but it's really will be easier to understand when you count your activities and so on. Also, I noticed one point. One moment. Yes. So also, it's better to start the sentences when you share your activities from the same verb. Word, for example, from the verb in infinitive without to, or in gerund. For example, I was working as a recruiter, and then bullet.
Mhm.
Yes, uh, uh, searching for candidates, creating some documents, and so on, or create, search, and so on. So just choose one variant and use it in every line.
Mhm.
Okay, Maria, also this resume, now we know that this is resume, not a CV. Yeah, it contains photo as well. Yeah, we'll like hide it, but still, is it a good idea to add photos in your resume, CVs? Is it like
Uh,
useful or
Yeah,
no?
what is your opinion on this question?
so the photo in resume or CV, it's still more an additional information. It's not like a mandatory item, but also be attentive, because sometimes hiring managers write down in the description of the position that yes, you need to add a photo. And so it's like a requirement and you need to do it. But if for example, in my experience when I worked as a recruiter for education programs, so yes, in this case it's not useful information for me. I need another one, so that's why you may not use photo in these cases.
And I have other question regarding this. Should we add this or not? What about age? Should we add information, our maybe date of birth, something like that, or age?
So it's like tricky question. So in my experience, it's pleasant if you write down age, because we understand. May I consider you, for example, in some countries we can't consider a person before 18 or 18 years age or years old, because so it's a rule. But if you don't want to share this information in your CV, okay, but be prepared to answer this question during the general interview.
Yeah, okay, thank you. That's all for this resume, and let's have a look at.
One more point
Yes,
about
yes, yes, sure.
there are also two sections about personality, personal profile, and then interests. So it will be better to combine it because it's about the same. It's additional information, and it's better to put it at the bottom of your resume.
Okay, thank you. Let's review to the next candidates. And the first is this cover letter. Ludmila, what do you think on this? You have more experience with this.
Usually cover letter is like just a very good idea for junior testers. Yeah, as Maria mentioned, the position for juniors always like gets a lot of attention, and the recruiter is usually like receiving a lot of different CVs, so it's pretty catchy. You can write down about why you are such a good choice for this company. You can show that you've done some research devoted to the products of this company. Yeah, you can write down something as you can think is really important, like I'm talking about soft skills, hard skills. Yeah, so the idea is just to catch more attention at the point when you really need it. Yeah, these like very very first steps. I think that if we're talking about like middle and for sure about senior and lead specialist, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, are you going to write a very good cover letter or not? You can just send your CV, and if you're like a good specialist, and it's gonna be catchy even without this cover
Yeah,
letter. Yeah, because you've got
absolutely.
a lot of information to write in your achievements. Yeah, you've got a lot of interesting information to share with your potential employer. Yeah, in your CV, so don't
Absolutely.
need to do it.
Yeah,
But for juniors, my strong
it's okay.
recommendation, yeah, is
Yeah.
to find out something interesting about the
Mm.
company and provide explanation why you're the best candidate.
Yeah.
I also,
Regarding this
okay.
particular,
I also
yeah.
just remember one point because
Yes, yes.
Ludmila sound such idea that yes, we need to catch the attention of the recruiter. So the interesting fact that on average a recruiter spend only 6-8 seconds looking through the candidate, his CV. So you need to
Wow.
understand that it's really very important to create good resume with only very useful information. And of course, if you will have cover letter, you just pay 1-2 more seconds of our attention,
Oh,
and maybe you will win and we will look through your CV or your resume and maybe call you.
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
Maria, but what about
Mhm.
like you can see at this cover letter, like a whole paragraph devoted to your skills? Is it a good idea? Because from my point of view, you're going to duplicate this information. This information is going to be included into your resume, but here, like a lot of text. How much? Like, just how many words can I input to gather your
Um,
attention?
Little life hack for cover letters. You try to use in your cover letter, if you speak about applying for a position, of course, try to use words and phrases, uh, maybe all paragraph if you want, from the description of a position. Just try. So, for example, we have 3 points in the description of the position. So use them. That okay. Number one, I have such experience.
Mhm, mhm,
Number two,
mhm,
so just repeat what they wrote in the description and use it in your cover letter.
mhm. Like
Then,
rephrase this
yes,
phrases. Yes,
replace.
It's
use it in
psychological trick to mirror somebody,
Wow.
yeah, to
Yes.
to gather the attention, yeah.
Yeah.
And about your question, yes, it's good to use this information in the cover letter because we can understand that, for example, a recruiter may firstly look through your cover letter and only then switch to your resume. Sometimes, okay, I just
Wow.
look through resume and then only will read your cover letter, but not all. And please not don't write in the same words, but the main and the most important skills and experience, yes, you may add in your covering letter.
Cool. Thank you. So let's look at the resume here.
It's oh, please, okay, you scroll down. Okay, uh, it's in general, it's not. It's very good. I guess.
For me,
Always.
it's like courses should be in other order. So the most like the latest should be at the beginning and then going uh, older and older and older. What do you think about this?
There are 2 points. For example, yes, one point is that you need to replace courses higher after the education because it's also education. Then languages is better to put on the bottom, like the not the most important
Mm-hmm.
in resume. And yes, usually we add information from the newest one, for example, of 20, for example,
Yeah.
courses of
Yeah.
2023, and then on add 2022 and so on. And one more point also about the style of
Mm-hmm.
activities. As you see, this person could you please stop on experience?
Mm-hmm.
We see that check in, then provide. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
providing it's better. You need to understand that a recruiter is also a tester, and this person really very attentive for details, and they may find mistakes very fast. And um, so sometimes, okay, it's not very attentive person. This is candidate is not very attentive, so I will maybe call him
Especially
later.
we're talking about future testers, so it's very important.
Yes,
Yeah.
you also need always. So you must be a perfectionist.
Yeah,
Oh.
let's go
And me
next
too.
and a little
Okay.
bit speed up here. So here you can see the next cover letter. You see that it's quite good, I believe.
Ludmila, maybe you have some comments.
I think it's
I'm
it's
just
quite
I'm
okay,
just
yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to refresh my memory. Yeah, but maybe it's one of the best, I suppose, variants. It's quite sure. I'm quite sure that such sentences, like when reviewing the job description, I was excited to see how
Yeah.
well my experience aligns with your
Yeah, cool.
company's needs
And
and position.
also, yeah, also we have you see that this person attach resume, not CV, so it's quite good. Okay, let's review the CV, the resume, sorry, itself.
You see, cover letter like attracts our attention. So
Yeah, so we
Mhm.
deep. Okay. And we
Uh,
are quite happy that we have a senior QA engineer here with a lot of years of experience. So we think that our channel is for beginners, but not for everyone. So thank you for being
it's
with
pleasant,
us.
yeah, to get
Yeah.
such interview
Yeah.
resume. Okay. What can I say?
Do you
So
have any comments
it's a
here?
good example of resume, yeah, as we can see. But also, don't forget to use bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, or you need to use bold just in
Yeah.
some phrases because,
Yeah,
for
to highlight
example,
something.
yes, to
Yeah,
highlight, for
absolutely.
example, the
Mm-hmm.
names of companies and your position, yeah, just to
Mm-hmm.
concentrate on them.
Okay.
Also, I catched one good idea. It's a very good point to write an in experience. I mean, your work results and achievements. Have a look.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have
Mm-hmm.
such, and yes, it's great to see this kind of information in resume.
Yeah, cool.
As a
Let's move
result.
on. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
cool. And next cover letter. It's also quite short. It's okay. Yeah. Okay, I think it's quite
yeah,
So,
it's
okay.
quite good. Yeah.
Yeah, let's review the resume here. So,
uh,
Maria, any comments
mhm.
here?
Uh, So, one more phrase about the style. Yeah, as we can see, the second place of experience, Yandex, was written in a good way. Yes, with bullets, with a good beginning of each line. Yes, but something wrong with the first one.
Oh,
Yes.
oh my God, oh my God.
It's
Ah, ah.
it was written in different styles. So maybe the most important for you is just to copy the style of your second place and use it when you describe the first one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Going to the next
Could
one.
I ask one more question about the previous resume?
Yes,
Because
sure.
actually, we've got two variants in the in formats of our resumes. Yeah, someone prefers PDF, and other people prefer sending Word documents or maybe even like images. What is like the best solution? What
Mm-hmm.
type of files should I use? Maybe something is more
Mm,
convenient for you.
Um, I don't. Have.
Does
I
it
don't
matter? Or
know.
maybe it doesn't matter.
I think it doesn't matter, but some tools ask us to add only files in PDF, for example.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I thought over, and I understand that maybe it's better to use PDF. For example, it's not pleasant for me to know that somebody will maybe add something in my CV, maybe and send anywhere else. So just PDF, which we can't to edit any information. Maybe it's better to use the PDF.
Yes, thank you so much. Let's move on. And the next, a very short email, but please pay
Without
attention.
subject.
Yes, no subject here, and how to write correct full emails. You can find this information in our channel, Telegram, and Facebook group by hashtag sprint number 12, sprint 12. Write it and find the information about this. It's very important to write correct emails. So regarding the CV here.
Yes, let's have a look. It's mm,
So
of course the fourth.
initially
The
we have one page, but when we saving it, it's like two. So don't pay attention on this. It's this one page here.
It's okay, but as we see in experience, work experience, I mean, so you need also to use bulleted lists because not here, but if you scroll
Here.
down, yes, work experience, main projects, and then your activities, yes. So it's a big text and I am lazy person. It's very difficult for me to read more than 3 4 lines. But if you will put them on a list, yeah, it will be easier for us to read it all. And also I don't understand the section about your experience summary. Maybe it's better to use just one summary because, as I understand, you this person have 2 summaries in the beginning of the resume. So the summary about ambitions and so on, and then experience summary. So maybe you may delete this point because you also repeat this all information in your work experience just in a few
Just
lines
replace with
later.
skills, yeah, and to structure the skills,
Yeah,
like
it's better to
instead of
add maybe the
experience.
point about skills, but all some information I have already seen in the first work experience point.
Mhm.
So
Okay,
don't
so thank you
repeat it.
for the recommendations. Let's move on. The next candidate CV letter here you can see.
Yeah, I remember this is the second great example of cover letter with pleasant words
Yeah.
and with the attachment.
Could you please name what is important and what is good in this cover letter? Just maybe structure or what?
The structure, yeah, first of all, the structure. Then again, I believe that my qualification make me a good candidate for this position, and I'm confident that I would be an excellent opportunity to grow professionally and personally. So you're just like link yourself to this particular company, to this particular job opportunity, yeah. So pay attention to me. I'm the one you need.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
oh great. Yeah. And look at the resume, please.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. In general, it's a very good. Maybe it's a looks very good. Mm, but as I see, the contacts are in the end
Yeah.
of resume. So, guys, it's better to use it on the top when you add information about yourself. So your name, your address, location, and contacts. Because sometimes maybe I understand, yes, it's my candidate, even read only the first 2 sections, and so I just want to call him. And I used to find this information in the top of your
Yeah.
resume, and I will try to spend my time to find it, and then okay, I find it in the end. So
Yeah. And the question from me here, so here the person specifies that she absolutely Clea has to maternity leave. What do you think about this? Should this be specified? Should be this information added to the CV or not?
Mm, I think this is the same situation with the age. Yes. So if your maternity leave have already ended, and you are ready for a new job and so on. So it's not important to mention this in your CV or in your resume, but you must be ready to answer about it on the general interview. But if you want to let me know about it in your resume. Okay, it's not. It will be okay if you will add, but
Mhm.
also add it please only in your sector about additional information.
I just want to say that I read about if you have some gaps in your working experience, you can explain it. So maybe this is like a reason.
Yes, but I think it's a question of general interview. Yes, it will be
Yeah,
a good
sure.
scenario if I ask you, yeah, oh, I see a gap in your working experience. Could you please explain me a reason? And the candidate say, I was on a maternity leave, but I do this.
Yes,
I
yes.
complete this. I read all this information. I complete a lot of courses and so on. And I understand, okay, so it's not a
Yes.
minus in this
Okay.
situation.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So let's move on and let's talk about the next topics and
Okay, so let's return to my presentation. So, as you can see on my new slide, the next topic is about LinkedIn, and it is very short. So you only need to understand that this resource is very useful, especially for you, for guys who want to build a career in IT. And if we hear a question, do you need a LinkedIn profile? So the short answer will be yes. So even if you don't like to spend a lot of time in the social networks, it's still worth taking 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes to set up your complete LinkedIn profile. Why? Because recruiters and hiring managers use this tool to search for candidates. So it's one more chance for you. And also, you can also use this resource for searching companies, open positions, interviewers, and recruiters, for example, like me. Yeah, just to put them in your network. And let me switch to another slide. Let's have a look at some benefits of using this tool. Of course, first, maybe very important point. Yes, it's that this tool is free for you. You may create your profile there, fill in all information. Also, you may mark that you are in use. For example, you are in research of a new job, new position, and so on. Then, yes, all important people they use LinkedIn. Recruiters, hiring managers always use to look through use it to look through your profile. For example, if you send your resume to position, in all situations, a recruiter also will try to find you in the LinkedIn and look through your profile, maybe just to find more information about you. Let's move on. Of course, as I mentioned, so yes, you also, it's like a one more opportunity for you to find job posts about job. Also, you can research companies in this area. So, for example, if you want to find more information, find more actual information about IT companies. So it's a good place for this. And
Yes, thank you, Maria. Yes,
yeah.
thank you. I think about
Mhm.
LinkedIn, and also we'll see all this information on the screen.
Okay.
So yeah, please move on because we have like 50
Okay.
minutes. for-
Okay. That's maybe we have the last topic. That's why I guess everything will be okay with the time management. So the last topic is about interview. So let's imagine that you will have the interview in a week, and you need to prepare for it. So let's look at my list of tips. So first of all, you need to be ready to tell the interview about yourself. It sounds very easy, but sometimes you don't know what to say in this case when you hear such questions. So please tell me something about yourself. So in this case, just think over and note in your copybook some phrases about yourself, which will help you to start the conversation with the interviewer. Then you need to know why you are interested in a position, in a education program, in a company, because so all questions about it is a questions of motivation. We try to check your motivation. Are you highly motivated to be here, to start this program, and so on. Also, if we speak about a position, do some salary research. Even if you will have no conversation about money, you might be asked about your salary expectations. And so, yes, do a little salary research just to understand what to answer. And two more points. Prepare your stories. Sometimes we or other interviewers ask a few behavior questions about some situations. So just try to remember very tricky or interesting or difficult stories from your experience. Maybe also write down them. And maybe when somebody asks you about some situations, you will remember your stories. And the last point, it's very important, but I will try to be shorter. If you speak about yourself, or you tell a story, or you share some information about your experience, use STAR method. There are a lot of information about it in the internet. The main idea is to use a structure for each answer. You need to tell about everything in 4 points. About so you need to mention situation, clarify it. Then you need to tell about your task. So what is your role in this situation? Yeah, and then you need to mention your action. So what you did. Or yes, what you did, and of course, in the end, please tell your result of all this activity. Uh, Try to spend a few minutes and research this information about this method in the internet. There are a lot of interesting sites about it. Okay, and a few words about the interview. So let's imagine that you are in the interview. So be confident. Stay in a good mood. Speak calmly and slowly. Try to answer correctly. It's a good variant if you will answer in 4-5 sentences, because it sounds more friendly, and I understand that you are open for the future communication. Don't be afraid to make pauses and clarify an interviewer's question. So if you didn't understand the question, it's okay. You just may ask to repeat it, because it's better to give a correct answer than the wrong one. And yes, as I said, please be positive and enjoy this present. Remember that each interview is also a good opportunity to get an experience. And one more
Maria, but how to be confident is quite easy to say, but how to do this? Maybe you have some tips here.
I may share my own tips because I'm also sometimes was on the interviews, and tips number one: always try to like improvise. Try to complete a little interview with your friend or your family member or I don't know nearby the mirror. So just try to imagine that you are in the interview and try to answer the questions before the real interview. Uh, you just may open the internet, the most popular questions from the recruiter, yes, and so ask your friend to ask you these questions. Then if you have a telephone interview or online interview and you are very nervous, stand up and try to answer all interviewers' question in this position, because when we stay, we sound more good, much good. Sorry.
Wow, it's interesting.
Just stand
Maria,
up.
I've got
Even if you see, I was speaking with you right now here in such way, yeah. But when uh, I can't stand up. But if I only straight my shoulders, I'm like a person who have a good experience in speaking with everybody, and so it helps. Like, I don't know why, but it's really helps. So try it and maybe share with us in Telegram with your experience with these tips.
Maria, one more important question. It's also about the confidence. What should I do if so desirable recruiter is calling me? Yeah, but I'm so busy. Maybe I'm in the middle of my way to somewhere in a public transport.
I understand. Hmm.
Yeah, what should I do? I want to talk so much. Will like, is it okay if I ask a recruiter, yeah, to call me later? Maybe I can say, could I
Yeah.
call you later? Is it okay, or it's like a bad sign?
No, no. You must to tell me that you are busy in this case, because I also understand. Each recruiter at firstly is on your side. They want to have a good interview with you. And if I understand that you are busy today or you are nervous about something else, something personal, yeah, so yes, don't be afraid to ask for recall. You may ask to recall, or you may say that, oh, sorry, may I recall you? It's mm, depends on situation, but you just need to tell me that you are busy, and it's okay if we will have communication later. So I guess I answered this
So
question.
you
Don't
already
be
need
afraid.
to
We all
recall in
people.
this situation, right?
Yeah, and like one more for like very scary situation
Uh-huh.
when you are asking me kind of question and I have no idea what can I answer. For example, you are
Even in
asking
my
me,
native language,
yeah,
yeah?
yeah, yeah. For example, what was the last film you watched in the cinema? Oh my
Uh-huh.
God, it's like 10 years last time I've like visited the
Yeah.
cinema, and I'm started like the thinking, like I understand that I should like show my English level, but I don't know what to say.
Uh, yes, I have one slide about English in the interview, but I will answer. So, of course, as I said, don't be afraid to say that. Oh, let me think over for a moment. Well, I don't know what to say to you. It's okay. because or it's like second point. At first, try just to remember maybe your favorite movie, for example. It's not important if we check your English in this moment. It's important for me just to hear your language, and I really don't interested in what book was the latest. Just maybe remember your favorite. I don't know. Fairy tale. Okay, so just tell about it, or you may just tell that if the question is more difficult than about book, so you may just tell that, excuse me, I never think over this point. Let me maybe think for a few minutes, and I will answer. So you may really tell me that you don't know what to say. It's no, sometimes
Yes.
it depends on the question. Yes, because if you will ask you something from what do you think about functional testing? Yeah, and you will tell me that, oh, I don't know what to say. It will be very strange,
It's
and I will.
strange. Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I will understand that the motivation is very low, because I
Yeah.
understand that you need to think over why did you choose testing. But if we speak about some cases like, that, what do you think about, I don't know, Hewlett Packard laptops? Okay, and you understand that you never think about it, have never thought about it. Okay, so that's just tell about it.
Yeah. So, okay, and what about English? It's a part of interview for non-native speaker countries, so maybe you tell,
Mhm.
yeah, some, yeah.
Yes, let's switch to my list. So, as you know, sometimes we check English, and sometimes we complete the whole general interview in English. Sometimes we just ask you to speak some like small talk in English, but you need to prepare for this, of course. My first tip is, if you know that I will call you and I will check your English, try to use in this period English every day. Speaking with your family members, speaking with your friends, try to look through some movies, try to think in English, because it will be very helpful for you when I call you. You will be ready to speak in English. Okay, and what about the tips from my slide? Yes, you may Google some popular questions in English, which we use in the interview, and or you may just write down them in your copybook. For example, sometimes we ask about your education or about your motivation, about your hobbies in English, and you just may write down like a little draft of your thoughts for these questions. Then you need to learn field-oriented vocabulary. So, in general, it's very important. If you chosen functional testing, so when I'm calling to you, I'm sure that you know this vocabulary. Then one more point: pull yourself together. It's about your when you're afraid of everything in interview. So if you miss the question, okay, you just need to ask the interviewer to repeat. It's okay. Also, if you don't know the correct answer, uh, the main important point is don't be silent. You may tell the phrases I sound earlier. Yeah, I never thought about it. Let me to think over, and so on. That's all. And when you speak in English, try to use only simple words and simple sentences, because in our native languages we may create very difficult structures on the sentences, and when you try to translate to English you have some troubles. That's why try to like I love to advise, try to translate your native language to a simple native language, and then this simple language to a simple English. It will be better for you if you are not sure in your knowledge. And the last, we mentioned it. So hold an improvised interview in English, also with your friends, with somebody who knows English. And sometimes it's very useful to record it and then sound to to look
To
through
hear
or
yourself.
hear
Yeah.
it, yes,
Yeah.
to hear
Yeah.
yourself, to just to
Yeah.
understand what we need to correct.
Thank you, Maria,
Pronunciation.
for this useful tips and tricks. It's very useful.
Mhm.
And let's, guys, if you have any questions, write down, because we have just maybe 5 minutes left of our event. So please write your questions if you have. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the possibility to ask the recruiter, because
Real
usually the
one.
recruiter is asking questions.
Yeah.
So
Yes, yes.
it's
So
like,
Yeah, in
what,
general, thank you, Marina. Maria, I have a lot of tips. I thought I heard today a lot of useful tips, even for me, because some recommendations about to stay for me, it's like a real surprise. Wow, it's really interesting. And also this that your goal is to conduct good interview, and you are on our side, not on this. Not you don't want to make feel us bad and so on. And so thank you for this.
and also one more point about English.
Yeah.
So we know this; it's a fact, but I need to repeat it. Please try, if you are not sure in your level of speaking English, really try to use it every day. Practice it, because for our field, I mean IT, it's very important to have a good sound, a good speaking English. It's the first one. If you will show me your test or your grammar, so okay. But if I hear that you have some troubles in speaking, it's not be a good result of a general interview. So that's why try to use it every day, practice, and remember that I may call you and check it.
Yeah. And
okay,
Ludmila told me that you is the most important to speak. You can make mistakes. It's not a problem. Not just not to be afraid of speaking
Yes,
English.
it's a
And
good point. When I was on my last year in my university, our professor of English, I don't know, reading, speaking, I don't know, he said, so remember one point. If you make some mistakes, don't worry. The main goal is just to be understood.
wow,
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
because actually we need English to communicate. So even native speakers can make a lot of
Yes.
mistakes. So
Mhm.
just let's speak together. Okay, actually we have no comments, like no questions for you, Maria. Thank you. You was so informative.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I hope these all tips will be useful for you guys. Use them and create your good CVs and resumes and practice your English.
Yeah, and fast interviews. Yeah, so
Yeah.
thank you so much for participating in us. See you on our next events.
Goodbye.
See you. Bye.